Y'all gotta stop. Y'all really need to stop. Angel McCoughtry done lost her goddamn mind. She done lost her mind. Respectfully, you done lost your mentals, mama. You tripped out. First of all, Asia Wilson started this whole thing, which is complete BS and nonsense. This should never be a conversation, and it wouldn't be a conversation. We would just be talking about how great and entertaining we think Caitlin Clark is. We just be talking about how dominant Asia Wilson is. We just be talking about how nice Paige Beckers is, but no.
But no, this former WNBA star completely lost it live on air. Angel McCoughtry's rant wasn't just a fiery opinion, it was an all-out meltdown. She basically called out men for being way too obsessed with the whole WNBA versus NBA debate, and things really blew up after Michael Porter Jr. spoke his mind. But here's the kicker, this drama, this narrative that men can't voice their thoughts. It didn't even start with MPJ or any other male athlete. The spark came from someone even bigger, a name that shook the basketball world, and the fallout, insane. McCoughtry's meltdown was just the latest shockwave from a statement that ignited a war of words no one saw coming.
Entertaining we think Caitlin Clark is. We just be talking about how dominant Asia Wilson is. We just be talking about how nice Paige Beckers is, but no. Asia Wilson started this, Angel McCoughtry. Don't forget that. She went on and said she could beat NBA players one-on-one. We tried to ignore it. People tried to ignore it, but y'all wanted to keep going on and on. But then when a guy actually addresses it honestly and isn't pandering like Patrick Beverley was, y'all get mad. We got to break this down, man. I got to show y'all the tape where it started and where it ended up. We gonna run through.
All right, let's take a step back. While Angel McCoughtry was going off on Michael Porter Jr. over something he said about playing in 8th grade, she completely overlooked what actually ignited this whole debate. The truth is, this entire WNBA versus NBA player conversation, what she's so fired up about, didn't just pop up from some random guy's comment. The controversy that eventually led to her explosive rant was actually started by WNBA superstar Aja Wilson. Yep, that's right. Aja is the one who set the whole thing in motion.
Patrick Beverley was, y'all get mad. We got to break this down, man. I got to show y'all the tape where it started and where it ended up. We going to run through this film. You about to get this work. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video as always. Let's get right into things. So we have ex-WNBA player Angel McCoughtry going on a tirade about Michael Porter saying how he was destroying WNBA players when he was in the 8th grade, which isn't a surprise to us. It shouldn't be a big deal. It's not a big deal.
It all started with a bold, almost shocking claim from Aja Wilson. She went public saying she could take an NBA player one-on-one, and she didn't just speak in general terms. She specifically called out New York Knicks forward Josh Hart, even predicting a score of 8-11. This wasn't some casual comment whispered in passing. It was a major public declaration, and it set the stage for every reaction from male players that followed. People tried to shrug it off, treat it like a joke, but once she made that statement, the challenge was officially on. The moment those words came out, she opened the door to all the comparisons and debates that would later push Angel McCoughtry into her explosive meltdown.
Play 8-11. Me.
So she's saying she can beat New York Knicks forward Josh Hart in a one-on-one 8-11. We all know it's nonsense. We let her get it off. We left it alone. Patrick Beverley, you have a part to play in this as well. We are going to get to you. So she's saying she can beat New York Knicks forward Josh Hart in a one-on-one. We all know good and goddamn well Asia Wilson can't beat none of these NBA players. Stop playing games.
I get ball first.
While most people tiptoed around Aja Wilson's challenge, careful not to stir the pot, one man cut straight through all the noise with brutal honesty. Former NBA point guard Jeff Teague. He wasn't there to be polite or politically correct. No sugarcoating, no fluff. He just spoke the truth. When asked about Wilson's claim, Teague's response was blunt and simple. Hell no, she can't. His point was clear. He wanted to move past the comparisons and simply respect both male and female players for their own talents, without forcing a matchup that doesn't make sense. But Teague's straightforwardness? That was just the calm before the real storm hit.
In a one-on-one, we all know good and goddamn well A'ja Wilson can't beat none of these NBA players. Stop playing games.
I get ball first.
You get ball first. She does get ball first.
Not just get it first. I'm not saying I'm gonna go scoreless, but 8-11, I feel like it's pretty solid. So what do you think it'll be, Josh? Don't piss me off.
And probably like 11-2.
You're sick.
I'll say probably like 11.
11-2 is what he really meant. Now he's about to be nice because he don't want to offend anybody.
7-7.
Then Patrick Beverley stepped into the mix. A respected NBA veteran, he basically poured gasoline on an already burning fire. On his podcast, the Pat B Pod, he played right into the hype, suggesting that A'ja Wilson could actually take down some NBA players. But this wasn't a genuine opinion. It was a calculated move, a cheap play designed to grab attention and drive engagement. At that point, the conversation around Wilson's challenge had mostly died down, yet Beverley, chasing clicks, reignited the debate and dragged the whole awkward conversation back into the spotlight. His pandering changed the entire narrative.
Starts pandering because he's pandering for views or whatever he's doing. He's over there pandering on his podcast, talking about, oh, I think A'ja Wilson can beat some NBA players. Patrick Beverley, knock it off. Knock it off. You are a respected player, heart and soul, from the crib, from the city of Chicago. And you know damn well she can't beat no NBA players. And by pandering and doing that on camera, all you're doing is dragging this conversation on. Nobody was even talking about this anymore. It was done. It was over. Patrick Beverley starts pandering, saying A'ja Wilson can beat.
Beverley's pandering didn't just disappear. It caught the eye of another NBA star, Michael Porter Jr. When MPJ saw how fake Beverley's comments were, he couldn't stay silent. He called him out straight. Man, you're tripping, Pat Bev. You know she can't beat any of us. Then he added the line everyone's talking about, the one that would trigger Angel McCoughtry's explosive rant. I was destroying these type of women back in 8th grade. It was a raw, unfiltered reaction to a debate that had been artificially resurrected. And just like that, he lit the fuse for the next big explosion.
Nobody was even talking about this anymore. It was done. It was over. Patrick Beverley starts pandering, saying A'ja Wilson can beat NBA players. Michael Porter then says, man, you are tripping, Pat Bev. You know she can't beat none of us. I was destroying these type of women when I was in 8th grade. And now all of a sudden, Angel McCoughtry has lost her mind. She's lost her mind now. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
Angel, why are men so obsessed with this conversation?
First of all, congratulations. You was dominating against women in the 8th grade. What is he?
And wow, did she blow up. Angel McCoughtry, the former WNBA star, went on an absolute tear. Every bit of her fury seemed aimed squarely at Michael Porter Jr. She was questioning his motives, his ego, and even why this debate exists at all. Her rant came across as a fierce, fiery defense of women's basketball, but it completely skipped over how the entire controversy actually began. Instead, she unleashed all her frustration on MPJ, painting him as the villain, as if he'd started the whole mess. The chain of events that led to his comments, totally ignored. The internet watched in awe as she released an enormous wave of anger.
She started this conversation. Men did not start and create this conversation. A'ja Wilson she started it. What are you talking? Now you're talking about cycles. You're talking about all types of come on, bro.
Load manage off a headache, uplifting her. I think the main thing we should be talking about, a woman, guess what? When I gotta come and drop 40 and I'm on my fucking period and I'm bleeding and my stomach hurts and my back hurts, when y'all load manage off a headache, let's talk about how awesome that is. Let's talk about how awesome it is that women, we have these babies.
Angel's big question, fired off with all her righteous anger, was simple. Why are men so obsessed with this conversation? She went after Michael Porter Jr., sarcastically asking if he deserved a cookie for dominating women back in 8th grade. Her tone made it sound like MPJ had randomly attacked WNBA players out of some ego-driven impulse, but that perspective completely missed the bigger picture. Her argument ignored the context. MPJ wasn't coming out of nowhere. He was responding to a debate that had been artificially reignited, the reality. Michael Porter Jr. was directly reacting to Patrick Beverley's pandering, and Beverley, he was just fanning the flames of a discussion that A'ja Wilson had sparked with her original challenge. To pin the blame solely on MPJ was a total distortion of the timeline, a selective twist of facts to fit her narrative. To underline the point that male players were responding, not initiating, Jason White Chocolate Williams stepped in. On Beverley's own podcast, he called him out, even claiming his old high school team could beat a WNBA starting 5. It wasn't an attack on women, it was a direct pushback against Beverley's hype. The pattern was obvious. Male athletes were reacting to claims and challenges, not inventing these comparisons out of thin air. As her argument against MPJ started to unravel, Angel shifted tactics. She moved to a different angle, bringing up women's biological realities, menstrual cycles, PMS, and the physical struggles of competing with back or stomach pain. And the implication was clear. These unique challenges supposedly made one-on-one comparisons unfair or meaningless. But the speaker wasn't buying it. He fired back, "I don't want to hear about your cycle or all that now." The message was simple. If a woman publicly claims she can beat an NBA player one-on-one, male athletes should be able to respond directly to that basketball claim without derailing the discussion with unrelated biological factors. The initial challenge was about on-court ability, not broader physical experiences. It was about basketball, plain and simple. Angel pressed on, highlighting women's strength, their ability to drop 40 points despite pain, and their capacity to come back and dominate after childbirth. But in the context of that original challenge, none of it changed the fact that the debate started with a specific on-court claim, and that claim invited a response. Angel tried to shift the focus entirely onto the incredible resilience of female athletes, moving the conversation away from that controversial one-on-one challenge. Her goal was to celebrate these accomplishments, suggesting that hypothetical matchups against men shouldn't be the center of attention. While the speaker agreed that women's achievements are extraordinary and absolutely deserve praise, he made a crucial distinction. Admiring the unique challenges and successes of female athletes doesn't mean they get a free pass when they make bold claims about beating male players. You can't make an extraordinary claim and then demand silence when someone calls it into question. That's a clear double standard. Next, Angel brought up family life, emphasizing how women juggle careers with taking care of husbands and kids. She argued that these additional responsibilities make their athletic feats even more impressive and that men don't face the same burdens, implying an unfair comparison. But the speaker shut down that argument fast. He pointed out that many NBA players are also fathers and husbands, supporting entire families while dominating on the court. The domestic struggle isn't unique to women, it's universal. This completely undermined her reasoning. In a final attempt, Angel invoked Kobe Bryant as the ultimate example of male athletes uplifting women and avoiding these kinds of debates. She suggested that MPJ's comments were disrespectful, painting a picture where men should only ever say positive things about women in sports. But the speaker cut through all the deflection and emotion, bringing the focus back to the start. A'ja Wilson. She was the one who ignited the debate by claiming she could beat NBA players. The real issue wasn't male obsession or disrespect, it was a direct response to a provocative statement. Angel's attempts to shift blame and introduce unrelated topics only revealed that she couldn't address the original challenge directly. Still refusing to acknowledge where it all began, Angel challenged Michael Porter Jr. to come practice with them, implying he didn't understand the difficulty of WNBA competition. This was a classic tactic, dismissing criticism by questioning the other person's perspective rather than engaging with the claim itself. The speaker called it out as delusion, bluntly saying MPJ would dominate. At its core, the problem that he argued, lies in a mindset among some WNBA players. The belief that they can make extraordinary claims about beating NBA players, yet expect immunity from honest responses. This creates a toxic double standard where only one side gets to speak freely, even when they started the fire. The drama, he concluded, was built entirely on denial.